Welcome to After the Bell, Ramagya School's student-led podcast, where we have interesting conversations with intriguing personalities. Today, I, Akshada Woods, along with my friend Joe Thomas, are your hosts. We have a very special guest for you today, and I'm promising you that you're in for a real treat.
That's right, Akshita. And today's guest is an indispensable part of sports journalism in India, Mr. Nikhil Naz, who's not only a journalist and an author, but also an author. So without further ado, let's get right into this interesting conversation with all After the Bell.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We're glad to have you. So I think one better way it would be to start the conversation by get to know you better, like your journey. So please tell us what inspired you, motivated you to actually get into sports journalism.
That's interesting. I mean, it was an easy choice for me because I played sport. Sport was my, passion. I played more sports in school. I was in a sporting household. My father used to play a lot of sport, my grandfather. So I grew up, whatever you get in your house, in terms of watching sport on television, talking about sport all the time. So I took an interest in sport pretty early on. And luckily I had access, and nowadays kids have a lot of access in school, but luckily my dad was in the army, so he had access to various facilities in terms of courts and coaches and so on and so forth. So I had access to those things. So my interest in sport grew. Later in life, when I was in school, I was an average student, but I would get selected quite often for debate competitions and elocution competitions and dramatics and so on and so forth. So eventually when I realized at some point in my life that I can't be a professional sports person, I think I combined two of my best traits, which was probably, public speaking and sport, and put them together. And I took up a course in mass communication. And when I took up a course in mass communication, I realized that I had interest in most other facets as well. That just not was limited to journalism, but other advertising and marketing and so on and so forth. So at least because it was a master's program, it was a 2-year program, I got to learn every bit of mass communication. And from there on, because sport was my passion, the guy who hired me in my first job thought that, he'd make a decent news reader, and picked me and allowed me to cover sports initially. And when he thought that, I could put me in front of a camera. And then from there on, it's been 22 years, and I'm learning every bit of it. I don't feel that I worked a single day one. Every day has just been fun.
Then we envy you, and we really want that for us too.
Yeah, I'm sure you love science, so if you end up doing anything related to science, or Joey gets to do anything related to football, or whether it's playing or being part of a support staff or coaching staff, whatever. If so long as you're close to what you love, I think you won't feel like you worked a single day.
Yeah, exactly. If you think that you were out working a single day in your life, then it's mostly you're just combining career as passion. And for most of us in today's generation, just to disagree, and a lot of us think that it is quite impossible, and it makes sense to think that it is an unachievable dream to combine passion and sports and combine passion and career, and doing a career out of your passion.
But again, I think your generation is luckier in that regard, because I see enough. I'm a parent too. I'd be rather open to, if my kid was to pursue something that he or she likes. Yeah. I give you my personal example. I mentioned right at the start, I'm an army kid. My father was in the army. My grandfather was in the army. My great-grandfather was in the army. So my father, when he would sit with anyone, would say that, my son, what's he going to do? Obviously, he's going to be joining the army. So when I decided to do something else apart from join the forces, I don't think he was really happy about my decision to begin with. But maybe it's not his fault, but probably he came from a generation where there were only limited things that you could aspire for. And journalism per se wasn't a career. Again, at that time, TV hadn't come so much. Journalism limited you just to be a writer in a newspaper. And whilst I enjoy that as well, I mean, I still love to write, but it's just that my journey took me towards television journalism. But I think now families, parents are rather open to it, and no matter what you pursue, you could be, I mean, you want to be a tattoo artist. You know, father, I'd be okay with it because it's really an art now. It's looked at as a form of art. That, you know, he's an artist. I mean, just to call him a tattoo artist, and parents would be okay. That would never be the case if I told my father. I mean, journalism was still okay, but if I had said tattoo artist wouldn't have happened. But now, so which is why I think, in that sense, you are fortunate enough that if you want to combine your passion with what you like, it is possible. It's not going to be looked down upon, and more avenues are open up. Like I mentioned to you, it's not necessarily if you love football that you needed to just be a player. You could do so many other things around football. And there are courses for that, there are avenues for that.
We have better opportunities right now. At that time, we didn't have that much to explore. But now, I still feel that there are so many career paths and options which are still unexplored. And I feel like parents the case might be better, but still there is still a taboo around the certain jobs, and I feel like money is also a big aspect right now, because honestly, you can't function without rent, that's true. So I feel like underexplored, and then in a money aspect, there's not much of the money that you could earn currently. It's in a growing developing stage. If you know sports journalism, not a lot of people would be very much into going to the path where they want to pursue sports journalism, even if they're.
But I tell you, this is the one other thing that I tell people. See, I agree that everyone aspires to be earning more money and aspires for a more comfortable lifestyle. But that is going to be your driving force. You'll never be happy. We started the conversation by me telling you that I don't feel that I've worked a single day in my life. Okay? When I wanted to be a sports journalist, I didn't know how much it is. I didn't know whether I'd be making X amount of money. For us, journalism at that time used to mean, you know, he'd be wearing a kurta and carrying a chura and wearing a Kolhapuri chappal. That's some hilarious work. It's still that it became more professionalized, and salary packages went through the roof. And as I said, coming of television, it changed the data. But again, when I was striving to be a journalist, none of that was my driving force. I'll give you another example. Let's say you're interested in science. If tomorrow you want to be a research scholar, you're not going to be making too much money. But possibly that will give you the maximum amount of satisfaction that you ever desire from life. Money gives you that satisfaction, not quite. But what you achieve, again, maybe it's
exactly.
Correct. And also maybe it's the stage that I find myself at right now in my career or my life, that I can look at it more subjectively and say that, listen, your demands are only limited. All you need is limited things. You just need enough money to support a family. That's all you need. And there's no doubt how much you would have. But as I said, I have also seen people that may have who that's put in a different perspective. I went to college, and like I told you, I chose a path of mass communication. There were friends who probably went to do an MBA and top level MBA, and those times, remember, MBA was that common, and only select few got a chance that took the best colleges, and so they had a much faster career growth than I would have had. Right? They became vice chairman to CEOs of their company pretty early. But a lot of them I find are now burned out. So while they did get what they desire, and they did get the money or the status or the lifestyle that they were desiring at that time, but has they now, they say, you know, in the middle age right now, where they're nearing their retirement age, if you were to look back to the cabin, maybe they want to live their lives differently. So at the end of the day, money can't be a driving force. By the way, everyone should desire some money, but if you're good at whatever you do, you will end up getting the big bucks for it. So let that not be the case. You like something, you like science, you like football, just go for it. It will settle down, you will enjoy what you do, and you may earn, few zeros less than what you would have wanted, but the happiness that you get every day coming back would be far greater than those zeros added to your bank.
It's really about what makes you good sleep.
Exactly. What makes you see, and what makes you, every day you get up. If you work, let's say I work for 22 years, you didn't have a desire to get up and go to work.
Because 22 years is a lot.
Yeah, so get up and go to work. I'm excited to go to work every single day. If I was, let's say, I often tell people, let's say, hypothetically, I ate, I lose my hair, I'm no more, good enough to be put in front of a camera. I can't be telling you, listen, I don't want you. What would I say to do? I get up, I watch sport, and I talk about sport, or write about it. That's what I love doing, right? So what I'm doing is irrespective of my job. I would do this single day. So if my job didn't pay me for this, and somebody told me that I don't allow you to do this 3 hours every day while you're doing something else, so that I do it 3 hours and more payment, do you do it? I do it because I love it. So it's just that's another thing that I get to do it full time, that I get the salary for that, to work. So if you just change it, and which is why you would see now, how many people do you find really doing a double take on their careers? Midway through their careers, they say, fine, this is what I wanted to achieve this because I wanted this sadness and money and all that. But 10 years after that, I know of so we see, not even, let's say, there are other ways to becoming, one of the partner becoming a CEO. They've left their careers midway, most of the deals. And what they want to do, they want to be a farmer. They want to be organic apples, for that matter. That's happening, right? So just go what you love, which is, as you say, allows you to see pretty well. And in the morning when you wake up, gets you fired up, like one moment. We should be
even motivation actually get us to 22 years and go through it, work every single day. And you will even consider that your passion.
Correct.
I mean, it's like probably like person or different thing. Every single day is another
new experience.
Exactly, because sport is not constant, things keep changing, narratives keep changing, things you want to like or talk about keeps changing.
As a kind of learning, I feel it.
Right. I mean, as I said, I was an average student because I love the arts and I love sport and all of that in school, right? I would do enough to get decent grades to move on. But again, so many years later, I now suddenly find, or at least find myself now being attracted towards a few subjects that I probably, because at that time it was education and my mind was, diverted through many other things. I now find that I have to pick up these two books and read because I'm really good at that. I really do. And I wonder why maybe I wasn't great. I didn't read that. I should have done a bit more of that. So, I mean, at any point of your life, you can switch, change, your likings can change, and you look at things different from that.
Yeah, because when you're down, you're more oriented towards money, but as well as you go down the line, it changes. Now it's not about the money. It's about the passion now. It's really, when you're young, you want to have a comfortable lifestyle. But as you go down the line, it's really about what is more comfortable to you every single day, what you really want to do.
Yeah, the enthusiasm thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And money also, I mean, people look at, or they desire to get money, changes with what, so for example, some people, and money is needed because he wants to drive a fancy car.
Yeah.
For another person, it could be that, hey, cars just take me from A to B. It doesn't matter which car I'm sitting in. Primarily talk for cars take me from A and B, but I need money. Why? Because I love to travel. So I want to spend money on traveling. I don't want to spend. Somebody, has a fascination for clothes and shoes and would want to spend watch it for that. Yeah, exactly. So to each, money would mean differently in that sense. But again, that money, I mean, if you look at it that way, I'm looking at money as that only thing that gives me some sort of solace and happiness because I get fed up with my work for 9 hours. I work really hard, I'm fed up, and now I'm going to treat myself because I make that much money and I buy something that I like. So, but then you're just managing things. But you're like,
it's not really about passion or money, you have to strike a balance.
Yeah, but then you don't need that money to make yourself happy if what you did at work was giving you happiness and
yeah. Well, speaking of balance, as a sports journalist, I'm pretty sure your job is very, hectic and quite fun, but still hectic. So, as a footballer, how do you strike the balance between work life and life at home and then, your own personal life?
So, I mean, you see, everyone needs a downtime. If you're playing professional sport, and I can think of a lot of professional sport, I mean, since since I write about them, I speak to them, I interview them, I think everyone needs a downtime, everyone needs a bit of interest in your personal life, and you should do that. I mean, if you just going to think about football and just play football all the time, that's never going to help you really up your game or become better at your sport. So you would need that downtime. But the one thing that I find which is very different for people trying to pursue sport in India vis-a-vis a lot of Western countries is the fact that if you were born in a first world country, you could pursue sport as well as concentrate on the studies or your other career and do it simultaneously. In India, why that does not happen? For two reasons, and I think that is one of... So what is the genesis of this card? It's when I went to the Paris Games just now. When I go there and our people ask me, if we India 1.5 billion people and how many medals you got? You have 5 or 6. So you have much smaller countries. I mean, countries the size of states in our country, you have 20, 25 medals. So that's the first question. But that's what I try and tell people. I said, yes, because you look at our population as a whole, and you say 1.4, 1.5 billion people. But you know the number of people that must be pursuing sport in a country would be just 0.5%. And so they ask, why? Oh, you're not a sporting nation? I said, no, it's not that kids don't play sport in my country. Every school you go to has a sporting program. Some may have a good program, some may have an average program, but every kid that goes to school has a chance to play sport. And it's not that there's only one sport in school. Fine, Indians may love cricket, but in school you have all sport, right? Every school you go to will have a basketball team, we'll have a football team, and we'll have an athletics team, swimming team, all of these basic teams, everyone has. So they're like, okay, everyone plays sport, and then you're saying 1.5 billion people don't play. I said, because all of them drop out of sport. They drop out of sport when they're 12, 13, 14. Why? And so why is it? That's because in India we need to choose whether I want to be a physicist or I want to be a football. And I can't be both at the same time. But that's the big difference in the first one. They can be both those things at the same time because sports is recreation for them. And if I'm an athlete, I will continue to, even through my school life and my college life, I'm pursuing my education, I'm also doing my athletics program. If I'm a 800 meter runner, I'm doing my training in the morning for my 800 meter. I am a coach, teaching me, I've reached college and I'm running good level at college. I'm going back, yet I'm going and attending my classes in the evening, and then I'll maybe have another session in the evening. So you can mix it. The primary reason I don't blame the Indian population for that, maybe it's a system as such, maybe there is a lot more competitiveness here. The chances or number of people that can qualify for certain position is less, so that much more pressure. You just can't study 4 or 5 hours a day, which are American, student days. I think those are the things. The other thing is that in the West, you could be a high school student or you do your college education and you, let's say, become a plumber, for example, right? Plumbing pays massively well. I think a plumber in the US might make more money than an IT engineer, right? So my thing is that I can choose a career and live a comfortable life with the money that you're talking about, afford a nice house, afford a fancy car, pay for my kids' education, and continue playing sport, which is aligning. In India, because there are so few things that too many of us are vying for, that you will have to at one point choose, do I pursue sport or do I go for that career path? And which is why we lose out on 90% of our budding athletes.
So they have a whole choice to actually choose the career path pursuing your sports.
Yeah, you can't do it here. Yeah. But I think that, while I agree that there are few compulsions in terms of how, there's dignity of labor there, may not be, you're judged by what job you're doing, and there is a class level. In the West, there isn't, right? You get paid pretty much the same no matter what. If I am a sales head of a company, vis-a-vis a receptionist at a hotel, I'm pretty much drawing the same salary. I mean, a margin in the future. Here, it's chalk and cheese. So nobody wants to be that, and everyone wants to be corporate hired fire. That's the difference. So I know those compulsions are there, but maybe we can adapt it. And for this, the whole attitude needs to change. Parents are going to need to change. They need to allow their kid and have faith that, okay, fine, he or she can pursue their education. But also there's enough time for them to go for sport. And at 13, 14, you're not going to drop out. So what happens is, again, if I was to have an Indian school team of 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and take them to Europe, Spain, for example, on the top field, and get them to play a match. Any school team in Spain will be a school team. There's not really too much of a difference between those two teams. They'll pretty much be the same. It'll be a close match, but win you could lose closely. But what happens? Why is it that by the time they reach the senior level, one country is number 1 in the world, the other is 124? Why? Because out of those 20 kids that I took as a school team from here, only one probably, not even one, pursued football because their parents said, so your 12-year-old talent got lost. Yes. That whole thing is gone because they left football. They could not. But there in Spain, all 20 kids will continue to play football while pursuing whatever else they want to do. What happens then that my talent pool is there. So all 20 kids of each school are playing. So when they reach my national level, I have so many more kids to choose from. All the best kids are still playing till they're 16, till they're 18. I'm still picking them. It ain't all of them are lost. Yes. Very few have gone on till 18 and still playing football. So that's an issue for which again parents need to play a major role and allow their kids to while they study. It is happening. I have started. I know of a program that one of my friends' mother runs. She does these tuition classes for a lot of these kids who are pursuing tennis as a sport. So what is happening? Because now they are 15, 16 in those years of their life where they have to crack board exams and serious competitive exams, but they're not doing regular school because their parents have identified they're good, so they need to travel, right, for the tournaments, either in India or abroad. But then they've gotten these open schools, got them admitted so that they keep getting their degrees, but they're doing these tuition classes with teachers that bring them up to speed to the education. So there are parents that are ensuring that I don't want the kid to miss out. I want that kid to have a decent chance till about 2022, by which time you'll know whether you will make it to as a professional or not. But they're giving them and earning them chance. So that gradually needs to change. And so that balance needs to come from you as well as your parents, the system, the school. Everyone needs to chip in and allow. So I give another example. I interviewed a girl called Anahad Singh. She's 16 years of age right now. She is India's #1 women's squash player right now. She's #1. She won the national recently. She's just 16. She studies at the British school. So when I interviewed her, and she was in the top 2 by the time she was 14. She was junior champ. So her school allows her that much time. Yes. Go off. And then she was saying, my friends help me when I come back with notes and everything, and I catch up. They do some extra classes with me. So there's a school also that's trying to make that effort. So effort needs to be made from various areas for someone like a Joel then to pursue football, as well as not ensure that he doesn't neglect his studies.
Yes, I've actually seen this in real life because the major dropout rate is probably from, I've seen this, that it's probably from the middle class families. Yeah. Whose children after a point of time they have to choose either between bread and butter or choosing their passion. And I've seen like at my age group I play at under 90 back now. And I've seen a lot like major dropout. It's like from my team, from the team of like 22 players, at least like 7 or 8 to drop out for football forever. Yeah. And I think that it's pretty sad that if they have to choose between like.
So that's 90% of India. There's only 10% of India.
Well,
choose no, because you're saying it's the middle class, low middle class, and the economically backward. All of that. If you put all of that together, that's 90%. The extreme rich class would not even be 10%. In fact, maybe just like 3-4% in the country, right? So then you eliminated 95% of your population. Gone. So then again, going back to the argument over 1.5.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not there. Nobody's playing sport. They're all living sport. They play in school till such time they're kids and have fun. It's recreation. After that, they go. So it's not what happened. The other section, which is the rural area where you still have kids pursuing sport, because they're also, it's not that they're doing both. There they neglect the studies. Because they know that if I study in this government school in this small town, I ain't becoming anything. So their path to glory is, listen, I'm going to give everything to be a wrestler or a boxer or whatever else that they pick. And there's a chance, 1 in a million chance that I end up becoming a Olympic medalist. If I do, I'll get like a windfall of prize money. Right? Today, an Olympic medalist, easy, it would be a 15-20 crore prize money they end up getting, right? from X state or your state, from the central government, from sponsor, that money you make it. So I know that that's my only path to success. And then there is so that's one small section. And then there's the other section, which are the have-alls. They don't need to be delegated to do anything because they have a massive family business and if nothing comes of it, he take care of my thing. So he's also sorted. But that is two very small chunks of our population that will give it a serious go. The majority, 80-90%, will never pursue.
Do you think sports journalism actually play a role in shaping opinions of people? Like you were talking about the fact that we have parents who aren't really supportive about the fact that the kid has to pursue sports after they are 15 or something. So do you think sports journalism, like everybody's very active on, everybody watch television news, something or other. So do you think it shapes the opinion of the society?
And it can, but unfortunately not in this aspect. So for example, sports journalism is not about pursuing parents to push them, because the sports journalist is typically telling stories of athletes. Yes, even telling a story of an athlete, that point can be made, like XYZ athlete who also continue. I mean, I'll give an example of Saurabh Mitra World Cup, who I interviewed. I went to the US for the World Cup. He is from Mumbai, plays for the American cricket team, the USA cricket team, left arm fast bowler. He made massive headlines at the T20 World Cup because USA beat Pakistan in a match, and they ended up picking up a lot of wickets. He's an engineer in Oracle, right? He works on AI in Oracle in the US. So he moved. So he played Ranji Trophy cricket in Mumbai. After some point, realized. But at least he gave himself a good shot, right? Till about 22, 23, he was playing first-class cricket. And then thought maybe he was not making the cut for the Indian team. And then just like any other good Indian boy, went into IT, got a job in the US, moved to the US, spent many years here, became eligible to play for the US. The World Cup was coming, they were the hosts, they needed for a team. He played. So he was doing that, which is why I said in the first role you could still do that. He is now an active professional sports person and an engineer. So of course the company allows him those uni days off, and he's representing the country and so on. So you can. So through this story, sometimes you can convey a message. But I think where the attitude change will happen, maybe with social programs, maybe not just education for the kids, but parent education, where we can have workshops and lectures. Maybe school can educate teachers. Exactly. That's it. It's okay. And this is where coaches also play a very important role. See, all of this happened in grassroots. What unfortunately happens with sports, you're only covering and talking about the top elite athletes, but not the ones that are in the works, that are moving towards them. So for them, your local coaches make a huge difference. If they can pursue the parents, talk to them, the schools can, school teachers can, and try and make them understand, and listen, don't let this kid drop out. He's good. He does have the potential. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but and so they stay on with that. I agree where parents come from because they want the best for the child. But once you put them at ease, try and explain this to them, maybe they'll allow them to pursue sport and do best harvest.
So talking about sports, you recently covered the Unbiased Olympics.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that you had a great experience there. Do you want to share some experiences that were incredible?
Oh, when you think games, firstly, just to cover Olympic Games is one of the best experiences you can have. I've covered the FIFA World Cup, I've covered the Cricket World Cup, and various other sports. But Olympic Games is awesome. And for a journalist, I feel like a kid in a candy store, right? Because there's so much happening through the day. So if I'm covering a Cricket World Cup, I know. So I'm mostly following the Indian team. I know today is a match, I'll be at the venue. It's a ground, 2 teams you're talking about. Then after they finish that ground, 4 days later, another ground. So it's pretty streamlined, limited. Imagine the Olympic Games, you're there. And I could be watching the Indian hockey team in the morning. 2 hours later, I could be in the swimming arena and watching Michael Phelps swim. 2 hours later, I could be in the gymnastics and see Simone Biles doing a gymnastic routine. Maybe in the night, I go to the basketball arena and see Steph Curry play for the US. So imagine that's how your day can be. And every single day, as I said, if you're like a kid in a candy store, because the next day I wake up, I'll go watch Novak Djokovic play Get this. So the best athletes are there. The world is there. The atmosphere. So first thing, just to be there, it's an awesome experience. In fact, I must tell if there are kids listening, parents listening, I tell them, do take your kids to watch an Olympic Games. It's an experience that you'll never forget. What you can do is, because I know parents are busy, kids are busy, but every time you plan a holiday, nowadays I see a lot of kids going for foreign holidays and so on and so forth. Why don't you plan it, when you're picking a destination, why do you pick it based on the sporting calendar? If it were the Olympic Games that year, there'd be something else. There could be the Euros, there could be the FIFA World Cup, there could be the Copa America. There's so many sporting events happening around the world. Every year there's something big that's happening. So if you're planning that foreign holiday in that year, why don't parents look up the sporting calendar and say, but this is an interesting event. Let's book our tickets for XYZ country that's hosting it. We go there, we see a few games. That's an education to the kid. Not just because it is in sport, for a lot of other. You meet people of different culture, you pick up things, you see how fans are, how passionate they are. There is other things. So that's one thing that I would really want to convey. Parents, if you're listening, take your kids on a holiday, coincide it with a sporting event. If it is the Olympic Games, nothing like it.
Yeah.
The best of it. But overall, having great experiences, some of the performances, Indian hockey has been giving us great performances, 2 Olympic Games, medals in both. And that, for me, very satisfying, because I grew up in a era where, I heard it from my parents about how dominant Indian hockey was, but majority of my life, I saw nothing. But now to have seen them in 2 Olympic Games win medals, I think that's the highlight. Vinesh Phogat's entire story was incredible.
Just coming up to it only.
Yeah.
The fact that our host country took a hit with that, the fact that she was qualified for the finals, and then again the 100 gram, the overweight thing, and it was all over the headlines. They were, I don't know, politics. I really don't know. It's a very controversial topic. So what's your take on it?
So I think I can write a book on that. It's such a massive subject, and if you were to just talk about that, I could do a series of 5 podcasts on just Vinesh Phogat at Paris. But primarily also because I saw the story unfold in front of me. In fact, I broke the story when I got to know about it, and then from there on, because it was a developing story, I followed every bit of it and saw a lot of things up close. I mean, also was part of a few discussions where steps were being taken as to what next. So it was fascinating. I mean, just to sum it up, the one highlight of that is her performance. Let's not forget that. Apart from the controversy, her beating Sasaki in the first round, it's like India beating Brazil in a football match. Just to sum it up, because that woman 82-0 never lost a single fight. She beats her. That is a massive. In fact, is one of the biggest results of the Olympic Games. Massive result. So she does that, and then what transpired later, I mean, you can look at it differently, and as I said, if I talk about it, I can go on for hours, her planning. Eventually, I'll say, I mean, it was unfortunate that it happened to her, but she tried her best to lose that weight. Circumstances were such that she could not. Eventually, she went to the court, she could have, and I don't think what the court ruled was anything wrong, because the court had to go by the rule book. The rule book was pretty clear, and so they ruled against her. Does the rule need to change? Maybe there are certain areas that need to be looked at. But that can only be looked at now, and future competitions can be looked at differently. But you can't retrospectively change what happened there. So, I mean, very unfortunate, but one of the most stunning performances were her beating and the first round. The other wow moment was Pakistan Darshan Nadeem winning that giant goal.
Neeraj Chopra got sent.
Yeah, but I was at that final, and I believe me, because that was like a bolt from the blue when he threw like that, because he was an outside chance of a medal, but not even in the top 3 contender, and he had been injured and nobody was really seeing him whether he cleared that level or what he did. He was an Olympic record, but I tell you, it was no less than a world record, because all the world records previously, those 98-meter records, were done with a different javelin. With this new javelin, yes, this was done, I think, pre-95, and you had a change, I forget the year, but you had a change in the winner javelin. So plus 90 throws were pretty common at that time. To make few changes to the javelin, and after which 90 became a benchmark. Only the best could like even touch it.
Something 92 point something.
He went 92.97. That's all the 93 years.
Yeah.
I was in the stadium, and when that javelin flew, because when you see the javelin go, we see the side angle. All the javelins actually at start look the same. It's towards the second half, some will take a dip, come down, some will continue, and that's where you really know the difference. When it leaves the hand, you pretty much see the same curve for most javelin curves, and then some will take a dip and fall, some will go slightly taller. In this case, he just kept flowing, and the whole stadium were, and there was this, roar in the stadium because everyone knew what they'd just seen was exceptional. So that's another performance that was mind-boggling. And I remember interviewing Neeraj after that. And, the fondest memory that is, and that's why I love Neeraj Chopra so much. He was so disappointed. This man is on a silver medal for a country that barely wins any medals. And silver would anywhere be a massive achievement. But he was so disappointed. I could see that in his voice, in the way he was talking. And that really made my heart go warm and fuzzy because I was like, okay, finally, we have someone who's like setting the benchmark so high. He's not happy with that symbol. Yeah, well, incredible actually.
And that is what makes you want to get a goal. That's the
yes. But again, and as I said, I've covered Olympic Games where we came back with one medal. So, but for us, just a silver, and all of those used to be bronze. Rajivardhan Rathore won a silver in 2004, and we were over and the one silver we've got. Yeah. Some man who won a gold, he won the silver the second consecutive Olympic, and he's disappointed. I was like, I cannot do. Yeah, and this guy, I like him. I love it. He's.
So we have a really fun segment for you. It's rapid fire, and you to answer questions without thinking.
It's fun for the person who's interviewing and not for the interviewee, because I've done exactly the opposite. It's fun when I'm asking, when I show the person who I say, could you cut that easy for you?
And this or that.
That's okay. I'll try my best.
Okay, so we start with first one. MS Dhoni or Sachin?
Whoa, that's a tough one. You don't know, and it's Sachin.
Football or cricket?
You said they're easy. Either 50-50. You gotta say quick. I'd say cricket. But style. Ow. I'd say it's tough. See, the reason I took time is because it's really tough. I don't know which way to go.
You always think I go ahead.
Favorite cricket team then?
Favorite cricket team? Yeah. Well, the Indian cricket team. That's an easy.
Favorite sport?
Okay. Well, these are very tough ones. Right? Very tough ones. Because I have 3-4 sports in mind.
Okay,
Look at what you do.
We won athletics.
We do have it in our school.
We love it. Athletics. Sprinting in particular.
Favorite book one?
I'm not. You want a sport book or just check?
Any book.
I'm a mirror for that. It's a pretty cliche answer, but I really love the book, The Da Vinci Code, by the
Yeah.
I read it multiple. I'm a huge Dan Brown fan.
For the fact that I know that you've written a book on Miracle.
Yes. Yeah. I couldn't say that because I've written it. Yes, that. Yeah, but that book is about the 1983 World Cup. Yeah, India won.
I think I saw it regarding the fact that there was a movie 83.
Yes.
Yes.
That came out before the movie.
Yes, in 2019, I think.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I mean, I finished it much earlier. I finished it in 2018, but there's a process. It goes for correct. Yeah, but I finished about 2018, and it came out in 2019. The circle I think came out in 2021. 22. Oh, yeah, something like that. Yes.
Okay. Favorite sport event?
Olympic Games.
Favorite food?
I'm a Punjabi boy, so I love my butter chicken and diet now.
Same here, but
Never answer questions.
Yeah, I would love to know. What were your thing?
Mine would be my mom's haircut, Karnatman shop. Punjabi, I'm Punjabi too, so like Mata haircut is best.
Yeah, what you have right?
Yes, definitely.
I'm Manu, so...
I love Manu food.
Dosa.
Yeah. But I love... there is a biryani which get from Kerala. It's called...
Really?
No, it starts with T. I forget them. Yeah, I love that. Oh, I'm a favorite. I need that. I'm fun. Yeah. Okay.
And the biryani is from Lucknow.
Yeah, it's nice, but I'm a foodie, right? So I've sampled all biryani. My favorite biryani though is a biryani that comes from Karnataka. So it's green in color, and they don't use the long grain rice. They use green in color. Yeah, it comes from a bit of Konkan region of Maharashtra and Karnataka. That side. Yeah.
Favorite football team?
Well, easy one. The easiest question to ask me. FC Barcelona. I'm a Barcelona fan. We do. Yes, if it was.
We'll end this out with knowing your favorite family destination.
Wow, good one. I have a house here in Nyanenta, so that's my favorite destination. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. So as we're coming out at the end of this whole podcast, so this one is going to be a difficult question for you, I think. But I think it would be easy to at the same time. So the fact that you were a journalist, I feel like it's a complicated job. You always need to be cautious about the fact that what you speak and where you are standing. So, I mean, do you have to be cautious about the fact that what you speak, or maybe it could turn into something really big?
No, that's a very good question. 100%. So that's what time that see, as you're growing a profession in whether you're good or bad, you do it's not credibility, but do create a name for yourself. So now everything that you say is taken seriously by anyone, right? So there is a responsibility because people trust you for providing them unbiased coverage and reporting facts.
Yes.
And if you misrepresent the fact, then somehow that tends to become the narrative and people trust it. So, and that could impact not one, two, but multiple careers and lives.
Into something else.
Yeah, but I could even impact the career of an athlete. Imagine doing wanting to be a footballer and he working his entire life does something and he finds himself in some unfortunate circumstances which may not be his fault. But if I do write about it in a way that may insinuate that it is his fault, then I'm ruining his career. So whatever I do, I have to be very mindful of anything that I say or anything that I write, what impact it has. But the rule that I follow, pretty much, I think that's the thumb rule. So long as you can keep your biases away and learn to just take the truth without worrying about how people are going to perceive you or which side of the bread to butter and which part to keep happy. If you forget all that, eliminate all that and just objectively look at a matter, say, okay, I saw this is what happened, and I'm only going to say what I saw, what I heard, without relying on any gossip or anything else, and just mention that, I think you're pretty much saying. So even if you end up affecting somebody's career, somewhere down, if what you've said is the truth, somewhere down there also, they may not be happy with you, but somewhere they know that what you did wasn't wrong. So they can't hold you against it. But if you ruin somebody's career stating things which are not factually correct, that's not something you'll be able to do. So even if I end up adversely affecting somebody, so long as I know that was 100% true, and that person knows too, your conscience is clear, right? So that's the thing. Just follow what's happening before that, even though it may not suit your narrative or what is it that you're trying to convey. Or sometimes what happens is we also, that's not our job, but sometimes what we say, we're also kind of predicting. But what if your prediction comes wrong? Don't try and justify that by narrating things in a wrong. If it's come wrong, so be it, but to mention the truth, it's okay if your prediction was wrong or your assessment about a player, a series, or a team was wrong. So long as you tell the truth, it's fine. You'll be able to sleep better, and you will never have anybody who will grudges against you.
Being morally correct is not about the fact that it's not. I feel like being a journalist is a very opinionated job. Like you have to state your opinions, but then again, you have to stick to the facts also.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, if you are proven wrong going in the future, don't try and twist facts to suit your opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
You got it wrong, and can I tell you, See, opinions are opinions. They're not fact. People realize that. And if your opinion is wrong, you accept it. I have seen in myself that your viewers, your readers, whoever that might be, appreciate that fact. That you're okay to accept that you've got an opinion. No, you said such and such player made his debut, and you've written an article about saying, no, I don't think he's good enough to be, he's lucky, blah, blah, blah. He goes on to have a fantastic career. Write it. Say that I didn't judge him on his potential correctly. I got it wrong. Rather than wait for opportunities for him to fail and then try and prove us wrong. If you can eliminate that out of you, I'd give you it's something that I've not shared with a lot of people. I met MS Dhoni on the sidelines or something. This is an off-the-camera conversation. And I asked him casually, this is just about a couple of years ago. I said, your career is ending. I've known him since the time he made his debut. So I said, career is ending. Why don't you look at commentary and things like that? I know what he told me. He said, I'll never do commentary. And this is a learning for me. And I said, why? He said, you know why? Because I do commentary, I give my opinion. And when I do give my opinion, that's fine. Everyone is entitled. When I give my opinion, and if my opinion ends up being wrong, we will try and find a way to twist it later. And he says, I never want to be that bad. And he said, maybe I'm human. I may also try to twist. And I don't want to find myself doing it. So why get into something which can open me to a thing like that? So I have my opinion, but I keep it to myself and leave it at that.
I think that's the best advice you've given, that in your opinion, keep it to yourself.
Yeah. I mean, so he said that, again, if my job as a commentator would be to give opinion. If I don't, then I'm not being truthful to my job. So I don't know.
It's an advice not only for journalism, but also for life in general.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you need to give opinion to maybe realize another person. Like you have a friend, you have a colleague or something, and you think that's nobody's correcting him and he's going wrong. Let the person know your opinion. Do it.
Just learn how to strike a balance.
Yeah, but don't ever be like, no way, I'm gonna dig my heels in, and my opinion is the gospel truth. Let that not be it. That's all. Yeah, I did.
And let live.
100%. That's another more. Yeah. But which is quite nothing with sports journalism, but I tell you, this is a lesson that I learned in school, and it's a thing that I followed all my life, and it's served me very well. I'll give you an example. I don't know whether you relate to it or not. As I said, I was an okay student at school, so I would only study when the exams were. But what would I be doing? But I tell you what, I would be like, I would ensure that if I'm not studying, I went to a boarding school, right? So that I'm not studying, I'd make sure everyone else has fun. They should also learn, and make me feel better, right? Yeah. And I hope the exam is so tough that all of us just average out. Those are the things that would happen to me. And what would happen? I would end up harming myself. It's pretty early on in my life I read that. They say, listen, my job is not to worry about what others do, or how they fare, or how, whether they're studying or not, or whether they're having fun or not. I got to look at myself. If I do well, it'll reflect good on me. If others don't do well, it doesn't still reflect good on me. So I learned that pretty early on, and while my school finished. But in my life, I've concentrated on that. I'll tell everyone that if you just concentrate on making yourself better, I know it sometimes sounds very preachy, but it's a fact. If I just, whatever you want to be doing, right, just concentrate, I am doing this story as a journalist, I'm right here, I want to concentrate on that. I don't care if he has written a better story than me, or he's found or unearthed a better breaking news than me. That's okay. That's what he's doing. All the best to him. I'm going to look at what I'm doing. So we just keep looking at yourself, focusing on yourself without, that crab mentality that we sometimes get in. That I'm not ready. No, concentrate on that. That'll help you go up. But in my not looking at how I'm going up, looking at how everywhere else comes to the same level as me, never going to help. Never.
Following the path of success is always a lonely path, I feel like.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if you're not very successful, just follow your path. Yeah. You are like, okay, I'm not the best in whatever I'm doing. I'm like everyone else. But let me just concentrate on my path, because at least I'd be able to maneuver that and go to where I'm desiring. If someone's going quicker than me, fine. Rather than, planning a way for him to slow down, I better concentrate on how I can go quicker. Maybe I try and catch up with it. Yeah. That's it.
So
that's too deep, isn't it?
That's
Thank you so much. It was lovely to have you. It was such a refreshing conversation.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure to be with you today. It was super.
Likewise. Chatting with you, like getting a different perspective. It was good to know.
Amazing opportunity.
And I think that our audience will love this podcast. And I think that they're quite fascinated to, this review.
Especially our students who are like sports enthusiasts.
Yeah. I mean, maybe someday I always give another sporting lesson. I went to your other branch and not extension, yes, and I did. There were a lot of parents and a lot of students, so I spoke to them about, and that was more for parents of how you need to allow your kids to pursue what they want and why. We need that. That's another class. So if I start on that, you go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so thank you for...
Pleasure. All the very best. Hopefully I'll cover you one day thing.
Probably, I also...
Yeah. And maybe I'll be reading a book written by her on science and physics or whatever.
Bio, probably.
Bio, okay, great. Or maybe I'd be following a formula that she's can't do. The word.
Really into forensic sciences right now?
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe a series based on her thesis.
I'm really into crime documentaries. I shouldn't be saying that. So,
Sure.
yeah. So I read that.
Okay.
So thank you so much. It was lovely to have you with us today.
Thank you.
And I hope that we get to meet you again.
Hopefully.
So said thank you a lot of...
Thank you everyone, so patient audience. You were. It was a very refreshing conversation with Sir here. And we'll be back soon. So signing off. And please write in comments who you want to see next. So bye-bye. Signing off.